Okie dokie. Mic check, 1, 2. A quick little live stream. Nothing too serious, nothing too crazy. You guys know how it is. Wednesday evening here in the UK. How do I explain the state of the UK right now? Jesus Christ, this country, man, is falling to pieces. I shouldn't really stream when I'm in a bit of a mood, I've got to be honest. And I am in a bit of a mood, so there you go. But I thought I'd fire up a live stream, up my spirits, I guess. Just been a shit few days here. I'm not going to lie. Been a shit few days. But you guys know how it is, man. You got to soldier on, brush yourself down, and get on with it. Like a G. Big up to Dominic Chetchery in the house. Salute to you, sir. Big up to Iceman. Felipe in the house. Yes, Usyk is a fucking boss. Boss performance this weekend, man. Boxed beautifully. Incredible performance. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. In fact, I've seen it 2 more times since. Just a really good performance by Alexander Usyk. Across the board, he was so impressive. So impressive. Yep, Usyk shocked the world. Big up to J-Dav. He says, evening, at least for boxing, was uplifting. Yeah, it was, man. Yeah, it was. Okay, Del. AJ's team waved for towel in the 12th round. Alternative angle on Twitter. Okay. First I've heard of it. That's interesting. That's interesting. Really interesting. I'll have to look at that a bit later. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, it was, man. Must admit, I was not a believer in Usyk at heavyweight. How wrong was I? I had my doubts. I'm not going to lie to you. I had my doubts, but he proved my doubts wrong. Like going into that fight, I couldn't predict it. I sat on the fence. You know, part of me was thinking that it's going to go the distance and Usyk's going to get robbed. Part of me thought that maybe AJ would connect with a big shot and knock him out. I honestly had no idea going into that fight. I had no idea. Yeah, so do I, Dominic Chetchery. So do I. I mean, like this whole fuel crisis in the UK right now, I'm absolutely disgusted with people from top to bottom, to be honest with you. I mean, the whole mainstream media have exacerbated this situation into something that it never needed to be. To me, at this point in time, I'll be completely honest, the way the country's gone in the last 18 months, certain people in power in the media need to be held accountable. And I'll go as far as, I want blood, man. I'll be completely honest. The fear porn, like the propaganda has been out of control. And this is just another fucking example of that. I've got a theory in relation to this. I just think it's another way of conditioning the British public to basically be reliant on the government. I mean, what's the story right now? Oh, we're going to have to bring in fuel with army personnel, military guys. They're going to have to bring in the fuel. That's what they're saying. To me, this is just another ruse, you know, and I'm disgusted with the mainstream media. These people, man, need to pay in blood, as Deontay Wilder would say. I'll go that fucking far. I'm sick to death of these cunts. Sick to death of them. Absolutely disgraceful. Big up to you, Unrivaled. Big up to Nordic as well. Yeah, his corner. Yeah, he apparently Usyk was going to go for it. Well, he was kind of going for it in early-ish in the fight, and Usyk's team basically told him to settle down and just box. That'll be enough, and that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's what I heard, J-Dav. Yeah, it was just for the zone clock. Yeah. Big up to Carlos Mendoza. Jim McDonald Boxing. Dominic, yeah, I totally agree. They're not for us, man. They're for pushing narratives to suit other people. I heard there was an iron brew shortage too. Could be why those takeaway scumbags gave me diet. Yeah, Nordic is still seething about that. I just drank a wee jerry can in case I need to piss in my tank, so I did. Always thinking. Dear, oh dear. Big up to John Gonzalez. Straight out of Texas. Big up to John. Ski Dragonov, he says, man, where are the vendettas against and the Anonymous when we need them? Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. Absolutely raging right now, man. Absolutely raging. Big up to ABC. Salute to you, sir. The kebab shortage in my local is far more terrifying than the fuel crisis in the UK. Bruv. Honestly, I could punch a hole through a fucking wall at the minute. I really could. Snap a man's jaw. I saw Shannon Courtney in Watford the other week. Oh, Christ. Oh, Shirley Mitchell. Christ. Yeah, salute to Triple J, man. Every single time. Big up to Triple J. Fucking country, man. Full of fucking idiots. You got no fans. You watching the IPL? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I like the nickname, by the way. Your username is pretty sick. It's pretty sick, man. But how are you guys getting on? Enough about me and my frustrations with the world. How are you guys getting on this fine Wednesday evening? So I'm going to trigger myself if I keep on fucking talking about it. I'm going to say some shit I shouldn't really say. Fucking cunts. Yeah, no fuel crisis in Ireland, yeah. Usyk fought in a tremendous rhythm from second one of a fight to the last, very different to the starts in his previous 5 opponents. Yeah, Usyk sometimes does start relatively slow in certain fights. The Bellew fight, the Chisora fight, even the Witherspoon fight. But yeah, in this fight, man, he upped the ante right from the beginning, and he kept it up, man, round after round after round. Usyk has some incredible cardio. He really does. Just a natural athlete, you know, great cardio, great athleticism, dexterity, balance, reactions. You know, the guy is an absolute phenom. He really is. He really is, man. Undisputed cruiserweight champion, unified heavyweight champion, fought every single champion away from home. His record is fucking ridiculous. And he's what you want in a fighter. If 10% of fighters had the same mentality of Usyk, then boxing would be in a much better place. Just 10% of fighters having that mentality would be so good for boxing. It's a hard one, really. I mean, right now, in terms of my head, I would favour Bud, but I really want Sean Porter to win that fight. I've got a lot of time for Sean Porter. Campbell Hatton beats Canelo on points, so he does. Fuck me. I think Canelo could literally have one arm, one leg, and he'd still win that fight. Yep. It was nice to see, bro. It was nice to see. Yeah, he ups his power gradually, Nordic. And another thing he does, when he throws like a combination, he'll throw like 2 light shots and 1 heavy shot. So he'll kind of alternate his power as well. And that basically means the opponent can't really get used to it. Certain times they're shocked when he really sits down on his shots. And we saw against AJ, he hurt Joshua a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. Hurt him in the 3rd round, definitely hurt him in the 12th round. And I think there was one other time as well where he kind of buzzed him with a left hand. So, you know, Usyk is not a monster puncher at heavyweight, there's no doubt about it. But he does hit hard enough to get anybody's respect. And if you let him hit you enough, he could stop you. I really want him to beat Fury too. Hate AJ and Fury. Yep, I'd like to see him beat both guys. Tell you the truth. Usyk's on a world tour. I said, yeah, basically, Nordic. Been to America, Latvia, Russia, England, Germany, Poland. I mean, the guy's fucking gone all over the gaff. Del, thoughts on Callum Smith at light heavyweight? Looks massive. 7 pounds could be the difference in his rehydration. Fucking Polak's Fat Lenin, chap. Yeah, he did, bro. My man looked like he got hit with a taser. His leg was shaking. Christ almighty. Yeah, brutal knockout. I actually felt Callum Smith in that fight looked a little quicker, not in terms of his feet, not in terms of his defense, but how he was throwing punches. To me, his shots looked quicker. And obviously they carried some fucking power. He's an interesting addition to light heavyweight if he's committed. I'm still a bit salty about his performance against Canelo, but let's be real. Light heavyweight needs a bit of fresh blood after Vodzik left the division. Kovalev is basically shot now. Light heavyweight needs some new faces. So yeah, listen, we'll see. I personally, I would quite like to see Gilberto Ramirez versus Callum Smith. I'd like to see that fight, to be honest. Yep, Eubank went from fighting a guy I'd never heard of to another guy I've never heard of. Yep, basically, bro. Come on, Liam Smith. Yeah, I'm rooting for him as well. I like Liam Smith. Yeah, Usyk's resume is ridiculous. Gassiev, Briedis, AJ. Yep. Mr. Physically Shooter Man, Prime Glowacki, Huck, Bellend. Yeah. Even like Machunu, like Mark said in another comment, like Machunu, very awkward guy, always gives a good account of himself. And years later, he beat Evgeny Tishchenko, a former gold medalist at heavyweight in the Olympics. So even Machunu is a good win. It's a good, solid win. Dubber 77. I would watch it for the banter. I don't really have any big problem with it. It'll be fun for what it is. I agree, Nordic. Yeah, Campbell Hatton looks weak, plus trying to fight like his dad when he has no power or stamina is just silly. Yeah, I don't see anything in Campbell Hatton. Nothing at all. I don't see any redeeming qualities where I think to myself, yeah, the guy's raw. He's got a lot to learn, but he could go somewhere. I don't see any redeeming qualities in Campbell Hatton. At least with Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn in their early days. Yeah, they was very raw, but at least you could see some sort of athletic ability where you could think to yourself, maybe this guy can go somewhere. But I don't see anything in Campbell Hatton at all. I don't see anything in that kid. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I agree with your statement. Yeah, I'd say so, ABC. Yeah, I'd say so. And I agree, Mark. I agree. Oh, yeah, facts. Yeah. Yeah, Briggs wins in boxing, Rampage in MMA, yeah. Usyk's power seemed a lot better against Joshua. Maybe it's Joshua's punch resistance, but single shots did a lot more damage than expected. He does hit harder than people think. Yeah, I agree. And if you go into that fight with the mentality that he can't punch, that's a recipe for disaster. Because you're not psychologically prepared to really get hit hard. And if you go in a fight like that, that's when you can get hurt. I wonder if Joshua kind of went into that fight with that kind of mindset that Usyk can't hurt him. Well, he was wrong if he did. Yeah, Smith was definitely way faster. Hands looked quick for sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. ABC. That's what I thought. If Campbell Hatton wants to have a successful pro career, he needs to be a tactical back foot boxer. He does not have the body mechanics or the strength to fight anything like his dad, who was relentless. Yeah, like you say, his dad was strong, decent gas tank, decent power, extremely quick feet, good variety in his work. You know, Campbell Hatton doesn't have any of that. I'm not sure, mate. I don't think Campbell's really good enough to pull off anything, to be honest. Arthur Bieber, Eubank Jr., the undisputed IBO face of boxing. Yeah, exactly. He's beaten Tishchenko, Lebedev, and Duradola since Usyk. Yeah, facts. Big up to Levi Khan out of NYC. Salute to Levi. I watched Usyk versus Machunu today. That was a great learning fight for both of them. Usyk figured him out midway and showed he could make adjustments. Same with the Hunter fight. Yeah, they were good fights for him, Nordic, no doubt. Oh yeah, no doubt, Nordic. Yeah, like Machunu's no scrub. Machunu's one of those guys where, listen, if you're like elite of the elite and in your prime, you will beat Machunu. But if you're a pretender, he'll expose you. He's one of those sort of guys, a good contender, tough dude, awkward style. If you're not good enough, he will expose you, as we saw in the Tishchenko fight. I'll be looking forward to it. And by the way, check out Unrivaled Boxing Talk. Really good channel. Really, really good channel. I'll be looking forward to that. And Jadav with the contribution. Big up to Del Boy. He likes his women large, in charge, and his heavyweights undersized. Fuck's sake. But yeah, big up to Jadav, man, for the contribution. Much appreciated. So you guys, man, this meme is never going to die. I'm talking to some girl who's like 5 foot, yeah, like 20 years old. Like, I think she's like 6 stone or something. She's a fucking midget, you know. You ain't gonna believe me though. Oh fucking hell. Yep, I think AJ knew he could be hurt, which is why he was so conservative in the ring. Yeah, I agree. He was biting on every single feint. It's like he is scared to get hit now, Anthony Joshua. He was biting on every single movement, every single feint. And yeah, when he got hit, the reaction wasn't convincing. I don't think he ever really recovered since that Ruiz loss. He's been a bit gun shy ever since. Like, he could have got Pulev out of there double quick time. He should have done it as well. But I don't know. I think Usyk might stop him in the rematch. I wouldn't be surprised. Yes. Yeah, Levi Khan, at that time, believe it or not, a lot of people were picking Lucas Brown to win that fight. I couldn't believe it. There were so many people picking Lucas Brown to beat Dillian White. I know Dillian's not great, but fuck me. Yep, Hatton is a fiery ginger. Jesus. I'd like to see some of that fire. Christ. Favorite Jewish boxer. No idea. No idea. You'll have to give me some names and I'll tell you if I like them or not. Big up to E-Machines. Can't wait for Sam Jones and Joyce to talk about how they can beat Usyk for the next year or so. Joyce will be like 40 by the time he gets a shot. Yeah, but I'll be honest, I do like the idea of that fight. I do like the idea of that fight. I actually think Joe Joyce would be a tougher fight than that Joshua we saw. He could be a tougher fight. Like, Usyk's a fucking tough cunt. He's got that retard strength as well. So he could be a tough fight, Joe Joyce, but I'll take Usyk. Do you think Joshua's mentally broken since the Ruiz defeat? I wouldn't say mentally broken, but I definitely think he's suffering from confidence issues. You know, he's unsure of himself in there. He's overthinking things. And I think we saw that against Usyk by the way he was biting on every single movement, every single feint. That's the last sort of fighter you want to face if you are going through that sort of crisis, that confidence crisis. That's just my opinion, though. I said it after the Kubrat Pulev fight. I still wasn't convinced by Joshua's body language, how he was responding to certain situations in the ring, and to me, it kind of manifested itself in that fight with Usyk. Yeah, Machunu's record deceives people. Don't underestimate that guy. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Crawford is mean. I mean, yeah, that whole fucking thing. Dell likes his women like he likes his boxers. Aggressive, short, and plenty of volume. See, this is another thing. You guys are full of shit. My girl is making me fried chicken as we speak. Yes, sir. That sounds good, man. That sounds good. I fucking bit my tongue. Okay, so Johnny Fisher against Christopher Lovejoy confirmed on the Fat Slobs Instagram live yesterday. Pure comedy. Early stoppage for the Romford Bull. I would agree. I would agree. Yep, Usyk is quality and a real road warrior. Easily one of my favourite current boxers. The guy just oozes class. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, he is exactly what you want a fighter to be. Win, lose or draw. No excuses. Anyone, anywhere, anytime. That's really all you can ask for from a fighter. And that guy just embodies that. And he has done since he's been to world level. Guy's a absolute credit to boxing. No, you can't criticize Usyk, honestly, with how he's handled his career. Yeah, exactly. Crawford fought once in the UK, though. Yep. Usyk's on a different level skill-wise and mental-wise to AJ, yeah. What do you think of Aram's proposal for AJ to step aside and wait for Usyk and Fury fight? AJ will most likely lose the rematch, and Aram knows marketability of AJ will go down. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea. I'd love to see Usyk fight the winner of Wilder and Fury 3. I think that would be great. But do you trust either guy to take that fight? Let's be real. I don't really, to be honest. We've heard what Tyson said about Usyk. Maybe he'll change his mind now. Now Usyk has belts, but I mean, I would like to see it personally, but I'm not going to hold my breath. Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, Usyk's rear hand hurt AJ more than Pulev's, indeed. Yeah, I mean, I think AJ was buzzed at least 3 times in that fight. In the third, in the last round, and I think there was one other occasion as well. What I noticed, I think it might have been like the 8th or 9th, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, hopefully they send me that shit. No, I don't think he is. I think he had Jewish handlers, maybe, but I don't think he's Jewish. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh yeah, Max Baer, yeah. And yeah, the best current Jewish fighter is Yuri Foreman. Yeah, exactly, Nordic. That's how it's going to be with Campbell Hatton. I mean, did you notice though? Now Matchroom are not with Sky Sports. Did you notice Sky Sports be a lot more critical of like the Matchroom fighters? I noticed that. Like they basically flat out said Campbell Hatton lost. I don't think they would have said that if Matchroom was still with Sky. Even the Joshua performance, they was kind of critical and basically almost calling it for what it was all the way through. They were a lot better on that card because they had no invested interest. Yeah, AJ versus any heavyweight in the top 15 is 50-50 now, in my opinion. Listen, I think you got to favour Usyk in a relatively big way in a rematch. I would favour Tyson Fury in a big way over Joshua. And I think Deontay Wilder, if he loses against Fury again, who knows where his head will be. But if Deontay Wilder is sound of mind, if that's possible, I think there's every chance Wilder could actually beat Joshua. I think that's a shootout. Joshua can't afford to overthink that fight against Wilder because he'll get himself knocked out, in my opinion. He'll get himself knocked out if he's too standoffish. I still want to see that fight. Let's say Usyk does fight Joshua again and Joshua loses and Wilder loses to Fury. I want to see Wilder Joshua, both coming off 2 losses. Why the fuck not? Yeah, exactly, ABC. Yeah, Joshua trying to go in there and bulldoze Usyk. It could work, but there's every chance he'll gas out and get stopped. If he can't make it count, he will get stopped. Yeah, I'll take Usyk on points, yeah. Big old AJ's built like Tarzan and fights like Jane. Christ. Usyk has mongy powers, as we said in high school. Oh no, they absolutely can. They absolutely can. I would still like to see Usyk versus. I'd like to see Usyk versus Chisora. That'd be a good. So, you mean Joshua Chisora? That'd be a good test for AJ's mentality, since Chisora will attack him from the opening bell and won't quit. Yeah, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it. BG London, salute to you, sir. The guy who basically overcooks his steak has it well done. Sonny Martinez was 2-4 going into the Hatton fight. Dude looked like a prime Roy Jones. Yeah, I mean, embarrassing really, isn't it, for Campbell Hatton? Yeah, Usyk took some damage in that AJ fight, had several cuts on his face afterwards. I think the cut was caused by a headbutt, Levi. I'm pretty certain the cut was caused by a headbutt. Yeah, Joshua's quite an oddity as an elite fighter. He's quite unconfident as a person, doesn't really have braggadocious as you would expect, yeah. Joyce, in my opinion, is going to get seriously hurt by Usyk. I can already imagine the amount of shots Usyk's going to land against his iron chin. He'll be too fast, especially his footwork. I would agree. I don't think he'll get seriously hurt, but he'll probably get schooled. I'm not sure about that. I wouldn't be surprised. Thoughts on people who say Joshua has a good resume? I genuinely think it's kind of garbage. It's not. It's not garbage. It's not what his fanboys make out. It's in between. He's got a good heavyweight resume. Yeah, I think Usyk-Joyce rematch will be a great fight. Close points win for Usyk after surviving a late scare, most likely for me. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. As you say, he's got a great gas tank, Joe Joyce. And the thing is with Joe Joyce, people say he's slow, and he is in terms of hand speed, but his foot speed is actually impressive, Joe Joyce. He covers distance very well, whether he's moving backwards or coming forwards. He does cover distance really well and quite quickly. True, but I don't think he's got the confidence for it right now, Chris. And he could have got knocked out if he did that. Bud Crawford's in danger of losing to Showtime in November. Bud has skills, but is much smaller than Showtime Sean Porter after Porter rehydrates. Fight night, Porter will be 170 and Bud 160. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. I think Bud's a big dude himself. I think they'll be about the same weight. Maybe I'm wrong. Who the fuck knows? He did, yeah, in that 5-rounder World Series of Boxing. I think Joe Joyce is skillful. He does some things that go underrated. I think his timing's really good, actually. Joe Joyce. He's almost like he is a rhythm fighter, really. Joe Joyce. He is a rhythm fighter. He's pretty good at managing range at times. He's got a nice jab, underrated footwork, good foot speed. I think Joyce is a bit more skilled than most people give him credit for. I don't really do pound for pound, Razor, but I would say Usyk's number one right now for me personally. If, like I just said, best fighter in the world, I'd say Usyk. Oh yeah, Cletus Seldon. Yeah, he was Jewish. Yeah, he was. Can Casemiro beat Inoue? No, I think he'll get knocked out quite quick in like 4 or 5 rounds. He's too relentless, too precise. I think he'll stop Casemiro to the body. Your disturbed reality, maybe. Hopefully Porter beats Bud. I like both, but I want Sean to win. Respect him so much. Yeah, me too. I want Porter to win. I'm rooting for Sean Porter. Like I said, I know some people disagreed, but I don't think Sean Porter's ever been decisively beaten. I felt he beat Keith Thurman. I had Errol Spence beating him by a point because of a knockdown. And I felt Kell Brook beat him, but I didn't think it was as wide as people made out. Like, people made out Kell Brook schooled Sean Porter. I never saw that in that fight. I thought it was very close. I think that's revisionist history with Sean Porter, Kell Brook. I thought it was a close fight. Even at the time, I think Sky Sports had Sean Porter winning, believe it or not. It was a close fight. Nobody's beat Sean Porter easily. Oh yeah, he is a bum. Absolutely. Yeah, Nordic. Yeah, I noticed that Delve was calling the fights more or less as I saw them. Laugh out loud. Yeah, it was nice to hear Nordic. It was nice to hear. Obviously, when they do their own shows, it's going to go back to normal. But it was nice. It was refreshing not to get triggered by the commentary. Oh yeah, yeah. He put Zab in hospital. Yeah, yeah. Sky commentary was actually all right for a change. Yeah. AJ would smash Wilder. I think skill for skill, Joshua was a much better fighter. But I don't trust the dude right now. And you can say the same for Wilder. But one thing about Wilder, I think that guy is so delusional, like to the point where he'll go into that third Fury fight with confidence. I genuinely believe that because he's so delusional. And listen, it's better to be confident than be where Anthony Joshua is at right now. I think Wilder is that delusional that he'll go into most fights confident. You know, that delusion, in one sense, is his downfall because it's not really made him improve as a fighter. He just believes he can bail out with his power. Um, so yeah, it's hindered his development, but at the same time, I think it kind of makes him live in every single fight, if that makes sense, because he's going to be confident. And he is a tough guy, Wilder. I'll be honest. Against Fury, man, he took a fucking beating, and he was genuinely disappointed when he got stopped. Yeah, Campbell Hatton-Puft. Yeah, he's going to get seriously hurt soon. He looks to have an even weaker chin than his dad. Yeah, he got buzzed by that dude. Endless. How urgent is it for Okolie to move up to heavyweight? Would be nice to see him fight Makabu then Briedis before moving up. Yeah, me personally, I think Lawrence Okolie comfortably beats Makabu. I think he comfortably beats Gulamarian. But Briedis will be a hard fight, a dangerous fight. But I think Okolie can potentially beat anybody at cruiserweight. At heavyweight, time will tell. Time will tell. I know Okolie's not got the greatest chin, at least going by the amateurs. So I think he might struggle a bit more at heavyweight, but I think he'll have a lot more success at cruiserweight. Fuck's sake. Not interested. Not interested, Levi Khan. Fuck Chavez. Yeah, you know how it is, Max. You know how it is. Wouldn't be surprised. The golden age, man. uh, yep, in my opinion, Joshua knocks out Wilder. Wilder just isn't as good as his record or reputation indicates. He's a one-trick pony. I would agree. I would agree with that in terms of your analysis of Wilder, but I think in that particular matchup right now, I'd kind of lean towards Wilder. Yep. Joshua will never fight Wilder, in my opinion. Imagine how nervous he'd be against Beyonce. Do you know what, though, bro? I really want to see that fight. I don't care whether Joshua gets fucking spanked again. Wilder gets spanked again against Fury. I really want to see that fucking fight. Like a loser leaves town type of fight. If both guys lose their next fights, just make that fucking fight. It'll be a great watch. But I agree. I think Joshua would be in a bit of trouble maybe. He would need to be the old Joshua against Wilder. You know, when Joshua fought like Dillian White. Kind of a bit reckless. Less cautious of what's coming back. He needs to get to Wilder before Wilder gets to him. Okolie would beat Briedis, the Latvian, looking solely for a payday. Won't cope with Okolie's awkward, gangly style, in my opinion. Yeah, you could see Okolie just leaning all over him, messing him around, and basically hugging his way to a points win. You could see that, but Briedis is very sneaky. Great uppercuts up close. He could try and time Okolie coming in for the clinch with the uppercuts. And like I said, Okolie's not got the greatest chin, and Briedis can really punch. So I think that's an interesting one. I wouldn't really want to call that fight right now, to be honest. I'd say it's like 50-50 right as it is right now. Yes, big up to Bruce Goes, man. Yep, remember when AJ versus Wilder was the only fight to make it heavyweight? Yeah, it's crazy, man. It was AJ Wilder, AJ Fury, and now look. And that's the thing, man. When you don't strike when the iron's hot, things like this will happen. We've seen it so many times. We've seen it so many times. You know, like what fight was it? Juanma Lopez and was it Gamboa? That was a fight everybody was talking about for a long time, and Juanma got fucking whooped by Salido. You got to strike while the iron's hot. Yeah, exactly. Sonny turned into Sergio at the weekend. In my opinion, whether AJ changed his trainers or not, Usyk beats him in a rematch. Yeah, I mean, if I was managing Joshua, I'd probably say fuck the rematch. We need to take some confidence booster fights, change your setup, and basically go again. I mean, how old's Joshua? 31 years old. He can definitely take 18 months out to kind of, readjust, reevaluate, and go a different direction. He's still got time, but I think he needs to do it now. In my opinion, he needs to do it now. Big up Delva Can Man will get schooled by Usyk. He acts like he has the answer, but he's an overrated plodder with atrocious balance. You mean Dillian White? Yeah, I'd agree. I think I could see Dillian getting stopped in that fight, actually. I could see Dillian getting stopped. Golden Age? Yeah, you almost never see vertical cuts from punches. Indeed. I think I said that on Mark's stream after the fight, yeah. To me, it was a head clash. It looked like a head clash anyway. I think there was a head clash in like the third round or fourth round, and it kind of like reddened Usyk on near the eye. Yeah, he's shit, man. Guy's shit. Yeah, Joshua does have a good resume when compared to someone like Wilder. Yeah, I mean, with Joshua right now, it's like one thing or the other. He's a complete bum, and obviously his fanboys they'll still say he's like the best thing since sliced bread. Joshua's a good heavyweight, with capabilities of being a pretty effective boxer puncher. He's a good athlete, good power, good solid basic fundamentals to a point. He's a good fighter, Joshua, but he just got outclassed. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and say he was always a bum and that. I think that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh, to be honest. And I don't, I don't like Joshua, but he's taken fights in which I've enjoyed, so I can't be too harsh on him. But I enjoyed Saturday. I can't lie. I enjoyed Saturday. I think in cruiserweight he'll do okay, Max. I think he'll be okay at cruiserweight, but when he goes to heavyweight, I think he'll get chinned. To put it blunt. Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, boxing with Usyk. Great idea, bro. Exactly, Nordic, yep. Chavez's whole come up was a fucking scam. Absolute scam. Yep, yeah, they stripped Martinez to basically give Chavez a shot at Sebastian Zbik, yeah. Because Sergio Martinez, Sebastian Zbik was his mando for the WBC title, and HBO said they wouldn't allow that fight on HBO. They said it wasn't good enough. So Sergio got stripped by the WBC, got elevated to Diamond Champion, and then Chavez Jr. fought Zbik on HBO. Crazy. And people think the networks don't have sway. If Usyk wins the rematch, he'll have to deal with the mandatories, presumably Dubois, Joyce, and maybe Hrgovic. Yeah. Well, I don't think Dubois right now is going to be any trouble. Joe Joyce is a dangerous fight, and I'm not sure about Hrgovic, to be honest. Not sure about Hrgovic. I think Hrgovic might get schooled. Yeah, that was disgraceful, that situation. Yeah, exactly. That's how I see it. ABC. It's not like his resume is not like a fucking list of killers like his fanboys make out, but it's not exactly terrible either. It's not terrible. Let's have a look quickly. 1 second. What's this? Just had an argument with Fight Scout on Recognize on should boxing be monopolized like the UFC. I personally think it benefits the fans because we'll get the best of the best. Matchroom with 115, for example. I mean, it's a hard one, really, isn't it? Ultimately, whatever results in a better product for us, for fans, is what I'm interested in. Would that work? Maybe. But there's always going to be guys on the outside, you know? There's always going to be guys on the outside. So I'm not really sure, man. I'm not really sure. Jim Jones, been a while, Dell. Congratulations on the other channel. How are the BBWs? Yeah, I'm good, bro, and thank you. Thank you very much. Nice of you to comment. Yep, Bud is bigger than Porter, in my opinion. He's a big fucking dude, man. The guy walks around like 180, 185. He's a big dude. What's AJ's best win? He's always been heavy favourite with home advantage. What's his best win? That's a good question. Best win. I would still say for Klitschko, even though he was 41 and he was past his best, I wouldn't say he was like completely shot either. Do you know what I mean? So I still say Klitschko, then maybe Povetkin. Then you're looking at someone like Parker, White, Ruiz. I mean, the resume's all right for Joshua. It's a decent resume. Not the worst in the world. Team Bud from Haitian Sensation. Bud's going to knock Porter the fuck out. I can't see it, bro. I can't see Porter getting stopped. He could very well get beat, but Joshua critique week, millions of videos. Yeah, the three main heavyweights have all been exposed as hype jobs, in my opinion. Yeah, Tyson Fury is the only one standing now when it comes to the big heavyweights, but he's not exactly fighting regularly enough to get exposed, Tyson Fury. Does anybody else have a really funny feeling about this third Wilder fight? About Tyson Fury? I don't know. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets knocked out. I'm not calling that. I've made my official prediction already. I'm picking Fury, but it really wouldn't surprise me if Fury got knocked out. There's something about this fight, man, that doesn't add up. I don't know what it is. Just an intuition. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Just think about it. Think about it. Shit, where was I? I think Casemiro will give Inoue a good fight, but get stopped late or lose a close decision. I got a feeling he might get stopped early, Nordic. I got a feeling. Oh, Reza, he's got Porter beating Bud. I hope you're right. Facts, I agree, Felipe. Usyk landing a left whilst AJ winds up to throw a hook because he should have gone for the kill is something that definitely would have happened. Yep. Like, it's easy to say that. But, you know, if you like you say, Joshua's just going to he's going to walk onto shots. And if and when he misses, his gas tank's going to drain even quicker. So more than likely, if he did that, he'd have probably got stopped. The only real positive I can think from in regards to Joshua in that fight was like I think it was round 8 when he was landing the right uppercut to the body. Like, that was the only shot where I thought to myself, do you know what? That's having some sort of an effect. Like, it made Usyk back off. It made him kind of reset. Like, Usyk after the fight said the body shots, he felt them. So that's the only positive I can really build on for Joshua, is that brief period where he was landing body shots. But a couple were low as well, by the way. Yeah. You know I beat that boy, yeah. Apparently Porter lost the fight because of politics, the Brook fight. Again, I wouldn't say he lost it. Like I wouldn't say he got jobbed or anything like that, but I just think it was a lot closer than people made out. The reason people are so highly critical of AJ is because the casual fans and boxing media hype him to no end. Yeah, exactly. I think Porter will give him hell in the beginning, but Crawford will catch him in the late rounds and maybe stop him. That'd be a major statement. It would be a statement, yeah. If Terence could knock out Sean Porter, I'd be surprised, to be honest, and I'd give him a lot of credit. If he could stop Sean Porter. AJ lost for sure, but it was relatively close after 9. I gave Joshua... So I gave Usyk the first 4 rounds. I gave Joshua round 5 and 6. I gave Usyk round 7, Joshua round 8. I gave Joshua 3 rounds. So yeah, it was, on my card it was still competitive, but Usyk was ahead. He was ahead. I had it 9-3 for Usyk. Casemiro will get caught in his face by chasing anyway. A body shot could be possible, but I think he's gonna flatline my boy Casemiro. Yeah, he's gonna get fucked up either way, bro. Charlie Hatley, I've not heard that name for a while. Yeah, Patton can't even beat a 2-5 journeyman. Embarrassing, yeah. Tony Bellew was absolutely devastated right after the fight. He's got a sneaky grudge on Usyk. It's sad, yeah. Yeah, he fucked him up, man. He put that Tony Bellew to sleep. Like, Tony Bellew, man, was so concussed after that fight. Like, if you look at the post-fight interviews, like, he kept on saying to Usyk how much he loved him. It was cringy, man. Kept on repeating himself. Like, he was definitely concussed after that. But yeah, he's definitely got a little gripe with Usyk. That's the impression I get anyway. That's the impression I get. Dell's plan. Porter beats Crawford, leading to Crawford's marriage breaking down and Dell being nuts deep in former Mrs. Crawford. You fucking cunt. Not even going to dignify that with a response. Yeah, I know. But yeah, bump of K. The less said about Campbell Hatton, the better. Embarrassing. Felipe, yeah, embarrassing. Tony Bellew is what he is, though. He's essentially a paid cheerleader for all things Matchroom. He is what he is. Hardest puncher in boxing, pound for pound, active or inactive? Inactive, I mean, do you mean like all time? If you're saying inactive, does that count retired fighters? It's a hard one, man. It's a hard one. I mean, Beterbiev's up there. I guess you would still say Wilder's up there. Inoue, I'd say Inoue, pound for pound in boxing right now, is the hardest puncher. I'd say Inoue. Because every single shot is hard. The jab, the body shots, the uppercuts, the straights, the hooks. Every single shot is delivered with mean intention. And he can knock you out with any shot. I would say Inoue. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Monzon versus Canelo. I'd probably say Monzon on points. But, you know, who knows? Thing is, with Wilder, he does have mad determination and power. You can never truly rule him out till it's over. Exactly, yeah. And he's got that puncher's arrogance as well, bump of K. He's got that puncher's ego. And Joshua doesn't really have that. Joshua can punch, but he doesn't have that puncher's ego. Like, Deontay can be getting his ass whooped from pillar to post, but I think in the back of his mind, he's always going to think he's in a fight. You know, and that is a good thing in a sense. That is a good thing. Chavez should get in the ring with Edgar Berlanga. Berlanga would fuck him up. Oh, yeah, he'd fuck him up at this point in time. Berlanga's actually fighting the Argentinian dude who fought Billy Joe Saunders. You know the dude who was piecing Billy Joe up? That's who's fighting Berlanga next. I think that's a decent test for Berlanga. Could get some rounds in there, so that's a decent test. Yeah, absolutely, yeah. AJ probably gets creeped out by fucking Tony Bellew. Watch when Wilder gets squashed October 9th. He's going to blame his wife and kids. If Usyk beats Fury, the division will go back to being weak and stale, yeah. It's an interesting, though. It's shaken up the division, man. It's shaken up the division. I mean, I said on Twitter like weeks ago, honestly, I felt that one of Joshua or Fury was going to lose. Once Undisputed fell through, that was my intuition. One of these guys is going to lose. Can you imagine it ends up being Wilder Usyk for Undisputed? It could happen. Wilder that fought Ortiz versus Samuel Peter that fought Vladimir Klitschko in the first time. Damn, that'll be a fire fest, that would. I think Wilder's got the foot speed and the range to knock out Samuel Peter, to not get too involved. I think Wilder knocks him out. But he could get knocked out himself. So that's a great fight, though. That's a great fight. I would probably say Wilder, though, in a barn burner. You could see a few knockdowns there. Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, two-weight undisputed. That would be legendary. Yep. Fury Wilder 3, the fight nobody wants to see, but everyone's going to be watching at 5 a.m. Do you know what? As we get closer, I am looking forward to that fight more and more, I have to say. When it was, when we knew there was a rematch clause and we know how the second fight panned out, I wasn't really interested then, but now we're close to it. Fuck it, it'll be a good bit of fun. Why not? And the undercard's good as well. Let's not forget that. Samuel Peter would have KO'd Wilder. He was underrated. That'd be a good fight. It's just Samuel Peter's foot speed, man. And in general, he was slow. I think he might walk onto one. It'll be a great fight, though. If Samuel Peter can get on Wilder's chest and swing away to body and head, Wilder could get knocked out. He could get knocked out. Get the likes up for the dweebs over at YouTube HQ. Indeed. Smash the like. Oh, yeah. Right now, man, these British fighters are fucking lambs to the slaughter. You can only really trust, I guess, Josh Taylor right now. I can't even trust Tyson Fury. No, I don't watch them, Levi, to be honest. Boazzi versus Borderleek for the European titles close to being made. I like that fight. Yeah, Borderleek recently beat Igor Mikhalkin, so that's a good fight for Joshua Boazzi. That's not a bad fight. A fat James Toney would beat Wilder. I mean, I'd like to say so, but I'm not sure about that. Watching your stream with a plate of fried chicken. Can't think of a better way to spend my Wednesday evening. Ah, nice. I had scampi, man. I had scampi and chips. Yeah, exactly. Briedis by elbow after the bell against Okole. Fight film saying the same thing. If Okole tries to hold Briedis, he'll eat elbows, headbutts, and knees to the groin. Yeah, but the problem is, man, if that fight's in the UK, Briedis is going to be on his best behaviour. He's going to have to be. If it's in Latvia, I'd probably pick Briedis, but in the UK, I'd pick Okole. Both of those guys, man, are no strangers to the dark arts of boxing. It's basically just flat out cheating at times. But yeah, it's one of those fights. Location is going to be very important in that one. And I can't see Okole going to Latvia. I really can't. When is Felix the Body Snatcher Verdejo first prison fight airing? I want to see him shanked on pay-per-view. Fucking hell. That's a good point, actually. I've not heard anything about that case recently. Yep, Juanma Lopez versus Gamboa was the featherweight version of Joshua Fury, where it was supposed to happen but never got made because of the upset, yeah. But at the same time, you have to look at it this way, man. If we end up with Usyk versus Fury as undisputed, that was always the best fight, you know? It was always the best fight. May not be as big of a fight, but it was always the best fight. I mean, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Jesus. I'd say Baldemir, Brandon Blanco. I'd still say Baldemir. They were both scumbags, Brandon, honestly. I've never heard of him, Levi. I'm looking forward to this fight, Bump of K, Otto Wallin versus Dillian White. That's going to be a good fight. I think it might be more entertaining than people think as well. I know Wallin's more of a technical boxer. quite well put together, southpaw. One of those guys who does the basics well without really being great in one area. But he's well put together technically. I think he'll give Dillian a hard fight. I really do. And I think it'll be entertaining. I like that fight. I do like that fight. I think Dillian might overwhelm him, but, that's a fight you need to look at if you're a betting man. You're going to get some good odds on Wallin to win that fight. Briedis beats Akole by a flying knee. No, bro. That's Ricardo Mayorga. Yeah, I think that's fair, LT. That's fair. I agree, ABC. No, Roy Jones isn't the right guy for Anthony Joshua. Weirdly, I think Anthony Joshua would suit the Kronk down to a T. But obviously Tyson Fury's there, so that's not going to happen. Yeah, Joshua's got an okay resume, but he still hasn't stopped anyone in their prime. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. MMA isn't anywhere near monopolized. UFC's a slightly better version of the PBC. Yeah, I mean, you've still got ONE FC, Bellator. There's various MMA organizations. And listen, man, people always say, oh, UFC's cream of a crop. I mean, look what happened when Eddie Alvarez went to ONE FC. I swear he's been knocked out twice. Demetrius Johnson, who's viewed as one of the greatest UFC fighters of all time, he lost his second or third fight in ONE FC, sorry. So how strong is the UFC really in terms of world-class talent? Is it really head and shoulders above everybody else? Probably not. Not as much as we think anyway. Not as much as we think. Yeah, Parker was absolutely shit. He's never done anything. Yeah, I've got no love for Joseph Parker. Wallin will sure put it on him. I think he'll try and box Otto Wallin. He'll try and be technical and make Dillian chase the fight. But I think he'll get drawn into a bit of a scrap, Chris. I've got a feeling, I've got a weird just vision that Otto Wallin's going to get badly cut in that fight and it's going to be a bloodbath. I just got that feeling. I don't know why. Yep, I've got a bad feeling about the third fight. Hopefully I'm wrong. Fury's a big ogre, a bootleg Mayweather. Now, I genuinely think Wilder will lose, but Fury, in my opinion, seems angry as fuck. And if he rushes in, he's going to get sparked, and then we'll have a fourth fight. I see a lot of people saying that, Brandon, especially if Fury wins, that Fury's going to retire. I don't think Wilder's going to retire regardless. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Big up to MXBC. People talk about AJ not progressing, but his pure boxing skills are developing and improving. Just that he's lost the aggression. Is this fair? Yeah, J-Dev, I'd say that's fair. The way Joshua was boxing against Usyk, I think he basically beats everybody in the division in that style outside of Usyk, Fury, and more than likely Wilder. I still think he'd outbox everybody else with that style. Maybe that's crazy. Joe Joyce actually might be a tricky one. But I still think what he's doing now is enough to outbox most guys in the division. I thought he got fucking schooled, man, but it is what it is. Yep, AJ Beyonce has to happen. I think Fury takes Usyk, but that's a great fight too, yeah. I think Fury would be ultra aggressive in that fight. I think he'd approach it like the Steve Cunningham fight, a lot of holding, a lot of mauling, a lot of leaning, and I think he'll be super aggressive. against Usyk. Yeah, Usyk knocked out Bellew into the missionary position. Yeah, I kind of think that shouldn't really be a thing, Levi. When they like interview guys clearly after like really closely after getting beat the fuck up, probably not the best idea. Like there's been a few funny moments in MMA when Joe Rogan's interviewed guys after getting fucked up. Yeah, I had it 9-3. Man, I had it 9-3. I am a teetotal individual. I never smoke. Oh yeah, Foreman's definitely up there, but no, I'm not really a stoner. I smoke now and again, but not too much. Not too much. What is your best strain? Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scout cookies. I think that's what it's called anyway. I'm just hot. Yeah, I just want to see the fight, Levi. Yeah, your gut feeling was Usyk. You didn't listen. By the sword, Dell, pick Wilder. Yeah, go with my gut. Who would you choose if Inoue versus Tank happened? Oh, Tank is too big. Sparks. Tank is too big. Inoue is much better, but Tank is just too big. What's up, Nez Mendoza? Salute. These random ass questions, man. Now, Alan Babbage fucking sucks. He's a gimmick, in my opinion. He'll get found out soon. Big up to Lackett. Yeah, stop spamming the chat, man. You're getting a bit fucking. Big up to 150, by the way, and check out 150's channel. Really good stuff, man. Really, really good stuff. Big up to 150. Real good dude as well, man. Real good dude. Dream Team. He says October 30th. I think White will win. I think he's going to be the biggest punch that Otto's ever faced. I agree. Yeah, I think Wallin looks like one of those guys who's pretty tough. You know, when you look at a guy and you think to yourself, yeah, he can take some punishment. I think Wallin is that sort of dude. Regardless of what happens, I can't see Wallin getting stopped quickly. I think Dillian would have to really work that body and tenderize him if he gets him out of there. But it's going to be a good fight, man. It's going to be a good fight. You could be right, Nordic. You could be right. Yeah, Otto's grimy. We saw that in that Tyson Fury fight. And he was doing well, man. People forget. Like, people always bring up the cut, but Otto Wallin was doing quite well before the cut. It wasn't like he was getting schooled and then Fury got cut, then he came into the fight. Wallin was doing work before the cut. Babbage will beat them all. AJ versus Joe Joyce might be a great fight and helpful to both. I'd love to see it. See, there's so many great fights in the division. There's so many great fights in the division outside the champions. Yeah, you might be right, Bump of K. You might be right. Joshua certainly can't box Joe Joyce and keep him off. No way. He'll gas out and get stopped if he does that. He needs to knock out Joyce. See, that's where you need the old AJ, you know, the one who fought like Dillian White kind of thing. Could Hunter beat Joshua? I still think Wilder versus Joshua is 50-50. We still haven't seen how Wilder will perform since his first loss on paper. Well, I've always been very high on Michael Hunter, and I still am. I'm obviously disappointed with the Hrgovic situation, but I think Michael Hunter can give a lot of guys trouble in that division. Wilder, Joshua, Fury. I'm not saying he beats those guys, but I'll be shocked if he doesn't give them trouble. But I'll probably pick Joshua. I'll pick Joshua. LT, Joyce should have fought Hrgovic for mandatory, in my opinion. No, he's gone the right way. He's Mando already. Just has to wait, stay active. He's okay. AJ by knockout. AJ by knockout, Sparks. Mid-round stoppage, AJ. Wallin retired Granat, and that'll probably be his best win. Maybe. I think he's competitive with Dillian White, Shep, but I don't think he wins that fight. As of right now, anyway, I'd pick Dillian White. Joe Joyce would walk through Joshua and chokeslam him through the ring. Team Juggernaut. Or Team 123 management. Michael Hunter's a tough fight for anybody in the division. I agree. I should ask this to Unrivaled, but Alexei Tishchenko, Lomachenko of the early 2000s, done well if he turned professional after the Beijing Olympics. I need to see this dude, Brandon. I need to give this guy a watch. Hunter would give Joyce big problems. Yeah, I think he would, actually. I think he would. I do think Hunter's a really good fighter. Just, it's a shame what he did about the Hrgovic situation. Because I think, listen, man, Hrgovic, he looks decent, but he's untested. I don't know why Michael Hunter didn't take that fight. Like, Hrgovic is looking slower than he did in the amateur days. He's looking a lot less dynamic. So I'd have fancied my chances if I was Michael Hunter, knowing what he can do. Like Michael Hunter, he's quick, he's fast, he can get in and out, he's got good volume, he can actually take a shot. Is it true that Joshua gets his six-pack from Turkey? Looks so hollow and weak. Oh, dear. What do you think of David Adelaide? I think he's a hype job, personally. Yeah, I don't rate him. Sparks, I don't rate him. He needs a lot of work. He needs to rematch Kamil Sakalowski for a start. He lost that fight. Big up to Boxing Source in the house. Salute to Boxing Source. Chris says, could we call AJ versus Joyce the Battle of the Robots? I'd love to see it, man. It'd be great. Yeah, I'm not sold on Hrgovic. I used to really like him as an amateur. And I thought he looked okay in his first few pro fights, but recently he's been looking a little sluggish. I didn't like the shape he came in at in his last fight. I know he knocked the dude out in 2 rounds, but I don't know, man. I've kind of gone off Hrgovic a little bit. He needs to, fight more regularly and get good fights. Usyk versus Dillian White, so Usyk can have the whole matchroom brigade. Yep. I mean, Luis Ortiz at this point in time, he's not really anything. He's not fought. He's not a contender. He's not a journeyman. He is what he is. He's just inactive, man. See, I think he might as well. PBC might as well make Ruiz versus Ortiz. It makes sense now. Yep, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Feed Adelaide to Makhmadov. Thoughts on fully grown men crying over another man's retirement in relation to Manny Pacquiao? I'm not sure who you're referring to, Triple J, but it really is embarrassing. Do you mean like on social media? Like actually showcasing themselves crying? Yeah, that's embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. I mean, fuck me. If you're going to cry over that, God help you. I can understand if you're like a 12-year-old kid, maybe. But it's not a good look. It's not a good look, Triple J. Luis Ortiz, Luis Ortiz is like the fake boogeyman. Yeah, he's like fucking Rob Zombie's Michael Myers. You know, he's not the original Michael Myers, the original boogeyman. Yeah, he's a knockout waiting to happen, Sparks. He's going to get sparked, like your name. He's fucking useless. He's useless. Joshua versus White for WBC Mando, winner takes all. Again, I like all of his fights. Yeah, Joe Joyce is definitely a threat. He's a threat. He's one of those guys, yeah, even if you beat him, you know you're going to have a hard fucking fight and he could take something out of you. He's that sort of guy. He's that sort of guy. Yeah, I do think Hrgovic beats Dubois, Reese, but it'll be a good fight. Yeah, he's an OAP. Conor Benn is the new hyped up rematch room hype job. Yeah. Dear. I would still pick Joshua to stop White. Yeah, I'd still pick Joshua over Dillian White. Yeah, can you imagine Lackett? Can you imagine? But if he did do that somehow, fair play to him. I can't fucking see it, but if he did do it, fair play. Luis Ortiz is a 2,000-year-old mummy. I don't know why his name still gets brought up. I can't argue with that, SP Martinez. I can't argue. Like, when was the last time that guy was in a fight, what he was interested in? Like, probably the Wilder rematch for me. I wasn't against the Wilder rematch for Luis Ortiz because the first fight was kind of controversial, to be honest. You know, how Deontay Wilder got a bit extra time to recover. Like, the first fight was somewhat controversial, so I didn't really mind the rematch, to tell you the truth. But that was the last time he was in a fight which I liked. And how long ago was that now? 2 years? Riddick Bowe. Like this AJ, yeah, Riddick Bowe. Late stoppage. It's okay to cry when Dave Allen retires. Yeah, tears of joy, Nordic. Tears of joy. But yeah, I mean, people take this shit too seriously, man. If people are out here crying, if certain guys have retired, man, I mean, Jesus. It is what it is, though, man. Each to their own. I personally wouldn't. As much as I like Manny Pacquiao, I don't know the dude. Never met him. Don't know what he's like in real life. He's a great fighter. That's all I can really say. Personally, I think it sucks that Pacquiao retired, but given the fact that I grew up watching him, but I won't cry over that. It is what it is. Exactly, man. Good things come to an end. Good things come to an end. Manny Pacquiao repped the sport like a warrior. He fought so many great fighters. You know, as a boxing fan, I've got all the respect in the world for Manny Pacquiao, but really that's where it ends. You know, I wish other fighters were like Manny Pacquiao. I wish more fighters took inspiration from Manny Pacquiao. But, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, I'd say, like, he'd get him to the body, E-Machines. He'll walk him down more than likely. But Riddick Bowe, though, like, Riddick Bowe was hot and cold, man. He could be beaten by, you know, lesser guys than AJ. So it's one of those. Big up to Mad Chad, by the way. Salute to Mad Chad. Yeah, Ortiz probably on more blood pressure meds now. Yeah, Dillian White may be the guy. E-Machines could be Dillian White. I'm not sure how true that was, James. Honestly, I'm not sure how true that was. It was never really close. I know Luis Ortiz was highly ranked in the WBA, but he then popped. I'm pretty sure. And eventually, the WBA Mando was Povetkin, who's a better fighter anyway. So I think people are clutching with that one, to be honest. When they say Joshua avoided him, I think they're kind of clutching at straws. Maybe they're tanking it, but I'm not convinced by that one, to be honest. I'm not convinced by that one. Luis Ortiz painted the Mona Lisa. Yeah, Parker's a bum. Not a bum. He's not. I'll take that back. But he's got a bum's mentality. You know what I mean? Like, he's got talent. He's got a great chin. He's got some ability. But Yeah, the guy's not got the heart for it. I met O'Hara Davis on Sunday. He came to the pub where I worked at. He was actually quite cool. Yeah, I've heard that about O'Hara. Still not seen it, Cop End. Still not seen it. Still not seen it. I can't imagine he looked great. How much longer can Rematch Room protect Ben? Disaster waiting to happen. Yeah, well, they're going to... Eddie Hearn said it basically, crazy. They're not going to put him in any 50-50 fights right now because his numbers are so good. So he's not going to take any hard fights. Yeah, O'Hara's all right, man. Asked him about what his thoughts are on the Joshua fight, and he thinks Joshua shouldn't take the rematch. I'd agree with him. Why do people hate Luis Ortiz? He can't speak English, for fuck's sake. Leave the old man alone. Yeah, Luis Ortiz, man, he's a good fighter. Well, he was a good fighter. Not sure about now. Just one of those guys, though. He got overrated by like Wilder fans, but non-Wilder fans kind of shit on him. He was a good contender at his best. He was a good contender. Yeah, he did, yeah. Ortiz done a job on Bryant Jennings, way better than Vladimir and Joyce. He did, yeah. That was his best performance, no doubt. Are you looking forward to the Devin Haney, Lee Selby and Andrade Quigley fights? Both shit fights, man. Are they official? Because they're shit fights if they are. No interest whatsoever. I called that Usyk fight weeks before, but everybody was all AJ. The writing was on the wall. He beat Beterbiev twice, who was trained by Lomachenko, plus AJ came in light at 240. What does the term bum even mean nowadays? I don't like using the term. It seems disrespectful in my opinion, but nowadays most boxing fans seem to label every guy a bum when they lose anyway. Yeah, I mean, to me, I kind of sometimes use it flippantly, just like hyperbole. Joseph Parker, like, for example, is not a bum, but I do think he's got a bum mentality. He's lazy in the ring. He doesn't commit. He does enough to lose. He doesn't have like the mindset of a champion, but he's not a bum in terms of skill and attributes, but just mentally he's not quite there. One person I will say is a bum is Dave Allen, because what is a bum in like, when you hear that term being used in like just everyday life, what is a bum? Somebody who's lazy, got no get up and go. That's a bum, and that's exactly what Dave Allen is. I'm not just because he's a fighter. I'm not gonna, suck his dick or anything. So yeah, when I say bum, usually I'll kind of use it to describe a lazy fighter in some way. Campbell Hatton, the future of Matchroom. Like, even his nickname is shit, Nordic. Not sure, crazy. Not sure. Maybe he's in... No, I don't know. Yeah, because Lomachenko was there. Like, Vasily was there. I was going to say maybe he's in training with Lomachenko, but yeah, Vasily was there. So I'm not sure. LR. I asked him what he thought about Florian Marku as he's beefed with him, but he said, I'll be honest, he's the hardest hitter I've been in the ring with, which surprised me because he claimed he beat him in sparring. That's interesting. I do think Florian Marku does hit quite hard, when he sits down on his shots. But yeah, that'd be a good fight, O'Hara Davis versus Florian Marku. I'd like to see it. Yeah, he tried to fight with Luis Ortiz, yeah. Dumb game plan. Still not seen it. Oh yeah, that whole situation, Mad Chad's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. I've stopped even looking for that fight now, Mad Chad. I'm not even reading news on it. I heard Kambosos is now pissed off and he's going to launch legal action. That's what I heard, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And if you could smash the like, lads, be much appreciated. I said Usyk would beat Joshua to a few people who didn't know boxing and they called me a hater. These people are programmed, yeah. Parker's a bum with good management and stupid fans that buy Junior Fighter pay-per-views. I like Joshua as a fighter, but I hate his personality. It's so fake. Yeah, I want to see more Roadman Joshua. I mean, I'd watch it, LT. I would watch it, but even Alan Babbage would walk. You know, he'd beat Dave Allen, in my opinion. He'd outwork him, maybe even stop him. I'll be honest, I'm kind of a bum. Nah, Nordic, you're not, man. You're good. Joshua needs to train with Norman Stone. That'd be fucking interesting. The referee sucks. That guy, man, when he got fucking thrown out. Fuck a referee. Christ. Yeah, Nathan said, I get you, but I don't say it myself, but I get what you mean. I respect most fighters, to be fair, regardless of what level, but I get a lot of guys warrant criticism. Yeah, exactly, Nathan. Exactly. Like even like a lower level guy, like an area level fighter who puts it all on the line. I'm not going to call that guy a bum. No way, because he's putting it all on the line. He's coming to fight. He's trained hard, you know, just at a low level. But like a guy who doesn't train hard, who takes shortcuts, yeah, I've always, you know, they kind of rub me up the wrong way, especially a guy like Dave Allen, who's had so many opportunities. That's what kind of irks me about him. Yeah, it's a joke, Nathan. It's an absolute joke. No. Avanesian would beat Marku. Florian Marku needs a couple more fights, and then I would say maybe a Conor Benn fight, maybe a Michael McKinson fight. I do think he's more competitive with Conor Benn than people make out. Because a lot of people I've seen say, oh, Conor Benn just, you know, destroys Florian Marku. I'm not sure. I think that's a competitive fight. I wouldn't even mind seeing it next, to be honest. Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Yeah, Norman Stone would make Joshua wet himself. To be fair, it's not Hergovic's fault. People don't want to fight him, but yeah, he didn't look great in great shape in his last fight. Yeah, you might be right, Crazy D3. Roadman Joshua will come out if it's Fury, Wilder, or White, or anybody who'll talk shit to him, not a foreign fighter. Good fight. I like that fight, LT. Good fight. Felipe, I think Avanesian beats Marku. I agree. Yeah, that referee shit was quite funny when he told Edison Miranda, stop hitting him in the balls. Yeah. Yeah, Lewis Crocker, the Irish dude. Yeah. He's not fought in a while. The last time I saw him fight was on some MTK cards, and he knocked the dude out. But yeah, he's all right. He's all right. Pretty good body puncher. Shelley Finkel versus Adam Smith. I got Adam Smith by late TKO. I was going to make a horrible joke then, but I'm not going to. BG London. Yeah, AJ's touchy-feely jabs needs to be combined with ramrod jabs in the Usyk rematch. The soft jab indicates the right hand is coming. Too easy to read. Yeah, I agree. It's like every single jab was a setup. I could count on one hand where Joshua would land a pretty hard jab on Usyk. Yeah, I think it's a good fight. I'd like to see it. Smith versus Fowler card looks good. I'm looking forward to seeing the big cheese in action. Yeah, he's fighting Troy Williamson, who can punch a bit. So we all know Ted Cheeseman doesn't have the greatest defense. I would still say Cheeseman wins, but don't be surprised if Troy Williamson pulls it off. He's not going to outwork Cheeseman, but there's enough chance he could get a knockout. Avanesian's style is similar to Prodan. 2 more fights and he'll be ready, in my opinion. Maybe, but yeah, but Avanesian is like, he's got a similar style, but he does it a lot better, with a lot more power, a lot stronger, a lot more experience. Yeah, Marku's decent and a good watch, in my opinion. Not sure what his ceiling, not sure his ceiling is that high overall, though. I agree, Nathan. See, I much prefer Florian Marku to Alan Babic. Like with Alan Babic, his whole act seems like that, an act. It doesn't seem genuine. Whereas Florian Marku, I think that's genuinely who he is. You know, arrogant, a bit of a nasty piece of work. I like that about Florian Marku. He seems quite genuine. I quite like his whole persona, I guess. Yeah, what bad man do you know comes from Watford? Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Bad man and things from the ends. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, he's activated the rematch clause. We'll see. Yeah, that is a good fight, actually. Josecito Lopez versus Conor Benn. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I would like to see that. AJ didn't give it a go. Usyk versus Joyce instead would be better in my opinion. Yeah. Interesting. For me, Dillian is a bum, but Rosado ain't. Mindset is most important, skill secondary. In vernacular, a bum is somebody who is lazy, more than untrained. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. That is a good way of putting it, actually. I didn't really think of it like that. That's a good way of putting it. But yeah, I mean, we all use that term. Well, a lot of us use that term quite liberally when it comes to boxing. I'm not really bothered by it. Yeah, Josecito might be a fight too early for Conor Benn, if I'm being honest. He can't. He machines. He can't. Doesn't have a skill set. Doesn't have the intelligence. I just don't think he can. I'll be honest. No, he's definitely got a chance. He's definitely got a chance, Martin. Oh yeah, he won't be around for long, LT, Ted Cheeseman. He's not going to be around for long. Like you said, it blocks punches with his face, been in so many wars already, and he's like 24 years old, 25 years old. He looks about 35, 45. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Alex. Cheeseman outworks Williamson. Yeah, Kieran Smith was outworking him, exactly. But Williamson can punch. Williamson can punch. And Ted has no defense, so it's interesting. Yeah, Femi was at the Miller press conference. I like that guy cussing mums and all sorts. Yeah, I can't see it, James. I can't see it. I'd say give Marco a couple of fights, and I think he's competitive with the likes of Conor Benn. I think his style could be a bit tricky for Conor. Maybe European level at best, Copendo 9. He's an aggressive dude, a bit of a swarmer. Yeah, that would be great. That would be great, Nordic, if they had it in Kiev. Not going to happen, though. Eggington is always a class watch, just like Cheeseman. Yeah, their fight was a war. Yeah, great fight. Great fight. Sounds like the Zone will buy BT Sports. Will we lose Queensbury as a meaningful promoter? I mean, if the Zone buy BT, then maybe Frank just works on the Zone. That could happen. And I hope that does happen because you're going to get potentially Frank working with Eddie. They might have to work with each other. So we could get some good domestic fights. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of Frank. Josecito versus Benn, fire. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Yeah, Rosado versus Munguia. Yep, November 13th. That is a good fight. I like that fight a lot. That is a good fight. It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be fun. I would say Munguia's got a bit too much for him. A bit too much. He's a bit too fresh, a bit too active in terms of punch output. I think he'll beat Rosado, but Rosado coming off a good win, confident, sneaky fighter, underrated skills. Rosado could be tricky. It's a good fight. Yeah, imagine Babic gets the Joshua fight and stops him in 3 rounds. I'll have a chicken Kiev to celebrate Usyk's second win. Oh, I love chicken Kievs, Nordic. You ever feel like you need to leave the UK and just start afresh somewhere else? Where would you go and why? Yeah, I feel like that all the time, bro. I feel like that all the time. Ideally, that's what I'm working towards. But if I ever get in that position, the plan would be to travel at first, visit some countries I've always wanted to see, and make my decision from there. There's a lot of countries I want to see, like Mexico, Latvia, Russia. Um, there's a lot of countries I want to see. America. There's a lot of countries I want to see before I'd make my decision. But yeah, I'd love to be in that position, and really, that's the goal right now. That's a 50-50, Sparks. If Dillian can get on Wilder's chest and work him, Dillian's got a great chance. But Dillian's got to cross that, get past that, the length of Wilder, and you could see him walking into a big shot and getting knocked out. So that's a 50-50. I might lean towards Wilder in that one. But it'll be a great fight. All these fights need to happen. It's not just Undisputed and these heavyweight title fights. There's so many great fights outside that, especially now. Big up to G-Man, great channel. Check out G-Man, one of the best on here. Big up G-Man. Dillian don't deserve a shot at Usyk after his previous comments that he doesn't speak English. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when he was asked about fighting Usyk, nobody knows who Usyk is. He doesn't speak English. But he fights Oscar Rivas, who doesn't speak a lick. Nobody knows that dude, man. Yeah, fuck Dillian in regards to Usyk. Yeah, Usyk should refuse Dillian because he doesn't speak Russian. Florian Marku's a good man. He comes across as a bit of a nasty piece of work. Maybe he's all right, but I like about it. I like that about him though. Every single fighter on Golovkin's resume is a bum, apparently. Yeah, that's harsh. Yeah, I think Sky would want that fight, Martin. It'll do big numbers. Golovkin is still well liked in the UK. People know who he is. And obviously Eubank Jr.'s got a built-in fan base anyway. And there's history as well. But I'd agree. I'm not sure. I don't think Eubank beats this version of Golovkin. It'll be a better fight now in terms of being competitive. But Golovkin still wins behind that jab. Fuck's sake. Yeah, Eggington has a ton of wars, and still going. Dale Evans, Rodriguez, Gavin, Jakotu, Cheeseman, the Mumune fight, And you forgot the Moranquinho loss as well. I like that fight, It looks like it's going to go down on the 28th of December in Japan. So, that'll be a great fight. G-Man Boxing. Can you imagine Usyk versus Babic? Oh, Christ. Babic would get fucking stopped quickly in that one. Massive question. AJ tried to play chess with Alexander Usyk and failed. Does Usyk outbox Fury, though? Let's be honest. If it's a pure boxing match, I think he's got a great chance of outboxing Tyson Fury. But Tyson Fury's a much better adapter than Anthony Joshua. If he was trying to box with Usyk and it didn't work, he'll change his game plan up and go aggressive and lean all over him and make the adjustments, which is why Fury's his hardest fight, in my opinion, in the heavyweight division. But don't be surprised if Usyk can outbox Tyson Fury, if it's a pure boxing match. I mean, Steve Cunningham was outboxing Tyson Fury. I know that was a more green Tyson Fury, but still, Tyson Fury's not as quick as Usyk in terms of hand and foot speed. He's not got the same movement. Don't be surprised. It'll be a good fight. Yeah, Joshua Usyk, Liam Smith versus Fowler, 2 jackpot fights in regards to betting. Yeah, who is the favourite, James, in regards to Fowler and Smith? Hidden Ape is going hard for Florian Marku. Yeah, they're pretty shit, LT. You kind of expect that, though, for the first few cards. We'll see how they get on. Yeah, Latvia, yep. I want to check out Latvia. I've heard a lot of good things about Latvia. A lot of good things about Latvia. Come down to Albania, settle down in the mountains, have a few kids, and live quietly. See, I'd consider it, man. I'd consider it. I'd consider anywhere, honestly. Well, not anywhere. Not that's wrong, but just had a waffle and a chicken Kiev, a light meal. Yeah, I had scampi today, man. I had scampi. It's lovely. Yeah, my dream scenario is Ricky Hatton takes Campbell to San Diego and convinces Reynoso to train him. Campbell learns Spanish, takes a belt, then gains a huge Latino fan base. I think you're reaching, SP Martinez. I think you're reaching a little bit. Christ. Yeah, Fury said it as well. Yet nobody knows him. He's a foreigner. Nobody wants to see him. Yep. That's what Fury said as well. Theory, G-Man is Ty and Booth's main financial supporter. G-Man is based in Ireland. MTK is based in Ireland. Conduit, thanks for that. Yeah. He wouldn't hurt, Julio Cesar Martinez. He certainly wouldn't hurt. But I think, listen, even Eddie Reynoso would struggle with Campbell Hatton. Do you think Wilder hits harder than Foreman? Personally, I don't think he does. It's hard to say, man. Sparks, it's hard to say. Foreman knocked out better competition. Yeah, Kinahan ran from Ireland because of G-Man. Yeah, he was shook. Fury's a bit overrated. Don't be surprised if Fury goes southpaw versus Usyk. Yeah, exactly. There's that as well, Cop End. He can switch up, just in general, so much better than AJ. There's that as well. Tyson knows how to use his size. Joshua didn't use his size, yeah. Do a video predicting Wilder's excuses for losing. My headphones was too loud. I couldn't hear my corner. Yep, I remember that as well, Nordic. Channel 5, yep. And he schooled Martin Rogan. Doesn't mean Usyk won't beat Tyson by any means, though, yeah. But I know what you're saying, Big Boys Boxing. And by the way, Big Boys Boxing also has a boxing channel. He covers for heavyweights. And I would highly recommend that you check him out. Good stuff, man. Derek loves living in Luton too much. Humble life. Tyson can turn it into a brawl very quickly if he's not winning on points. Look at the Cunningham fight. That's why I pick him over Alexander, because he's more adaptable during fights. But yeah, exactly, Kangaroo. But as Chris said, Fury's quite a bit slower. Like, Fury's quick for a guy of his size, but in regards to like comparing him to Usyk in terms of speed, it's night and day. Yeah, big up to Ty and Booth, wants to know my bank balance. Has that been signed, LT? Because if that has been signed, that's a great fight. Don't be shocked if Sorrow beats Madrimov. Sorrow is a good boxer puncher. He can crack a bit as well. Good timing, good fighter, underrated fighter. Like, he arguably gave... Michel Sorrow arguably gave Brian Castano a harder fight than Jamal Charlo. So Sorrow's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. Yeah, I agree, DJ. Fury can't box inside, but to cover that, he can clinch well and lean on fighters, but would Usyk let him clinch? I think it's closer than some people think. Tyson has height and weight and a big reach. Yeah, advantage. Channel 5 days, yep. Way back in the day. Del, did you go to school and what is your job career? How did it come about and do you enjoy it? So yeah, I mean... Did I go to school? Do you mean like university or college, as you guys say in the States? I went to college after school where I learned plumbing. That never went anywhere because at the time it was very hard to get in that industry due to the building trade being a bit, up and down. So plumbing never worked out, and eventually I kind of fell into car sales to start with. And now I'm in kind of finance, but no, I don't have a degree or anything like that. I don't have I don't have a degree. I kind of just Nah, G-Man's a fucking gangster. G-Man's got a great channel. I've been with G-Man since like very early on, man. I think he had like 400 subs, maybe 500 subs, something like that. Are we ever going to see Charlo fight Andrade or Golovkin? Any combination of them would be great. The final winner goes up to 168 to fight Canelo. I can't see those fights happening. I mean, Golovkin and Murata are the only guys unifying. Fury will lose. The 2-year drug and alcohol consumption has permanently affected his physiology. Maybe. You do wonder whether that's going to catch up on him at some point. Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. I like the whole card, Copendo 9. I'm very much looking forward to Frank Sanchez and F.A. at Jagba. That's a great fight. That's a really good fight. And Adam Kalnacki versus Robert Helenius 2, for what it is going to be a fun fight, no matter how it goes. So I like the card. Okay, so Matchroom won the purse bids for Sorrow and Madrimov. Good fight. That's a good fight. Yeah, that's it. I don't mind sharing, though. Well, I don't mind sharing what? I don't mind sharing. Usyk's toughest fight by far is Fury. Wilder versus Usyk would be funny. He wouldn't land one right hand and would get pieced up and stopped. I agree, DJ. Joshua. I take Joshua over Tommy Morrison. If you're talking about prime for prime, yeah, Joshua. Ask yourself a question. Would you tell your fighter to try and outbox Tyson Fury? You all must be crazy, honestly. Cunningham ×2, cruiserweight champion, and got smashed. Yeah, he got smashed. But, you know, when it was a boxing match, Steve Cunningham was outboxing Tyson Fury. Then Tyson adjusted his game plan, got dirty, and he got the knockout. I mean, it is what it is, man. If Tyson obliges Usyk in a boxing match, Usyk needs to box with him. But it's when Tyson adjusts. It's what does Usyk do then? That's the thing. Yeah, G-Man's he's a good dude as well, G-Man. One of the nicest dudes on here. I say that genuinely. Dell learned plumbing for the fatties. That was the best thing about working with a plumber. Not the fatties, but like going in houses and shit. And like some like housewives, like proper MILFs. Like, damn. Jamal Charlo's boring. He has no interest in unifying with Andrade. Yeah, it kind of sucks right now. Yeah, joke of a fight, G-Man. I mean, it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. Jay Quigley, he got bashed up by Toriano Johnson. I think that's nonsense, SP Martinez. I think it was just his gimmick for that fight. He was talking about Elon Musk and all that kind of thing, and he came in as like an astronaut. That's what I think he was doing. You know, he came in wearing a fucking astronaut fucking mask, and he entered the ring, put on an outer space performance. Good shit, man. Good shit. Who is the best Nordic boxer, Helenius or Wallin? I would say Wallin right now. I think Wallin would beat Helenius. But that would be a great fight. I'm surprised it never happened. Battle of the Nordics. That's a great fight. No idea. XMB. I've got no idea. Careful of those blood feuds in Albania. Yeah, I'd rather had cash. Fury versus Usyk could be like Vladimir Povetkin, not as extreme but similar. Fury can lean on opponents really well. Yeah, I agree. That's what I think he needs to do to win that fight. Like pound for pound, if you're comparing boxing skills, Usyk's on a different level. I don't care whether Fury fans like that or not. Let's say, for example, You make Usyk 6'9", the same size as Tyson Fury. It's not even a competitive fight. It's not even a competitive fight. I'm sorry, it's not. It's just not. If Usyk can make his size, if Fury can make his size count, he's got a great chance of beating Usyk. No doubt about it. But it's down to size. It's not down to more skill. Oh yeah, Jimmy, I'm sound, bro. I'm sound as a pound for the most part. Yeah, Cash versus Andrade. That is. Yeah, I'd rather have seen that as well. In comparison to Jason Quigley, yeah. Otto Wallin versus Campbell Hatton, dream matchup. It'd be hilarious. Yeah, it'd be hilarious. Yeah, AJ's got next to no inside game. Well, not. I wouldn't go that far. He can throw a few shots on the inside, but he's not an effective inside fighter. He's best at mid range when he's aggressive. Anthony Joshua. Cunningham wasn't destroying Fury on the cards. Surprising was up on the cards, but the knockdown made Fury turn into a 6'9" monster, and Steve got out quick. Yeah. But whatever the card said, I thought Steve Cunningham was outboxing him early on. But yeah, it is what it is, man. All I'm saying is Tyson Fury is not this unbeatable guy who's like a perfect fighter. This guy got buzzed by Otto Wallin, who can't punch. Otto Wallin can't punch. And look at Tyson Fury in the last round. He definitely got buzzed. Fury's a great fighter, but he's not unbeatable by any means. Yeah, Wallin versus Selenius for the WBC Skyrim belt. Yeah, the thing about Fury is what version is going to turn up. For me, he only loses to Wilder if he underestimates Wilder. But can Wilder improve enough to make a difference? Not for me. He's 34 now. Yeah. Yeah, Usyk needs a stepladder. Exactly, Kangaroo Jack. That's what it's all about, really, isn't it? Just for best fights. Yeah, exactly. Even like Chisora Wilder, it's a great fight. Wilder White, fucking, White Joyce Joshua. There's so many great fights not involving titles. Oscar supposedly offered Floyd 100 million to fight. If he offers legit, Floyd won't turn down 100 million. He'll sleep Oscar. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. You say that though, Jimmy, but like Murata and Golovkin are unifying. So is that really the case? I'm not sure. And like people are saying, oh, Andrade has it bad. I mean, there's no excuse for Jason Quigley. Sorry, but that level of opponent is poor. But in my opinion, there's no excuse. So like Andrade could have fought Janibek Alan Kanuli, who recently beat Rob Brandt. He's been calling out Andrade for months on Twitter. Absolutely months and months and months. But he never got the fight. Why not? If Andrade can't get any fights, why not fight Janibek? I don't see why he's fighting Jason Quigley or Jay Quigley, whatever his name is. Will the Joshua story ever come out? This brand experiment has been the biggest scam in recent memory. The Hearns own his life, essentially. You never know. People think I'm Scandinavian because of my channel name. It's literally a Skyrim reference. Oh yeah, Chisora Hrgovic, another good fight. Wonder how Fury looks on the White versus Wallin fight. I guess he don't want the White to look better than him, yeah. It'd be interesting. Damn, Mad Chad is now. This is a fucking interesting one. Usyk will beat Fury easier than he beat AJ. Fucking hell. See, I'm not making a pick on Usyk and Fury. Like, gun to my head, I'll probably pick Fury, to be honest. But like, honestly, it's one of those. Yeah, savage, LT, savage. I've not seen a knockout like that in quite some time. I've not seen a knockout like that in quite some time. It's one of those ones you're gonna remember when the leg shakes and shit like that. It's horrible knockout. Glad he's okay, man. I'm glad the opponent's okay. That could have been nasty. Man, big up to Mad Chad. At the minute, Kangaroo Jack, I do solo streams, but I do plan on having like public streams where I have a panel. But tonight is just a quick solo stream. It's one of those. Yeah, Janibek. I like Janibek. He's a good prospect at middleweight. Well, he's a contender now, basically. But yeah, I like him. Okay, top 5 fighters to watch in terms of entertainment value, not pound for pound status. Okay, that's an interesting one. Artur Beterbiev, Naoya Inoue, Roman Gonzalez, Vasily Lomachenko, and probably Usyk. Probably Usyk. That's what I'd say, but I can swap a few names. There's other guys I really like, like Unia Dorticos, Maris Briadis. Who else do I like? Golovkin. I could add Golovkin if I wanted to. There's a lot of guys I love watching. I like watching Errol Spence fight, to be honest. I do like his fights. Josh Taylor. There's so many guys I like watching, so it's really hard. But yeah, Subriel Matias is another one I love watching. If Otto didn't cut Fury's eye, that's a landslide victory for Tyson. I don't understand Fury's a boring fighter, but he's got great skills and ring IQ for a guy of his size. Oh yeah, no, I don't doubt that. He is a very talented fighter. But like that Otto Wallin fight, I felt Wallin was having success before the cut. Not as much as when Fury was cut, but Wallin was finding the body. He was landing shots. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Fury wins, especially by stoppage, does Wilder just disappear and silently retires from boxing? I think he'll probably try and have one more run, maybe. I think he'll have one more run. If White doesn't stop Wallin, he loses for me. Wallin has a better engine. Yeah, we're going to find out a lot more about Wallin in this fight. To me, he looks like a good technical fighter. I think he can give guys in the top 10 trouble, but I don't think he'll ever be a genuine top 10 contender. He's that sort of guy, in my opinion. But we'll see. Maybe he can beat Dillian White. I certainly wouldn't be like crazy shocked, but I'm picking Dillian White. I'm picking Dillian White. Biggest hype job in boxing, I think it's Tank Davis because he's only chasing baby belts. Yeah, I mean, I could see Tank Davis. Yeah, I think Fury has the best style to beat Usyk at heavyweight. You'd hope so, Nordic. Yeah, in regards to Campbell. Yeah, Campbell Hatton's going to get Marcellus Wildered. Yeah, he's going to get. He's getting paid well, I'd imagine. Cop end. He's getting paid well for 4-rounders and 6-rounders right now. But again, Virgil Ortiz was another guy I forgot to mention in regards to guys I like watching. Yeah, there's so many guys in boxing I love watching, man. It's hard to say 5. It's hard to say 5. Like the only dead cert is probably more than likely Beterbiev, but like there's loads of guys. But anyway, lads, I'm going to wrap this one up. I've got a few bits to do. If you could smash the like, it would be much appreciated. Hopefully you enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm going to need to wrap this one up. I've got a couple of bits to do. But yeah, I'll probably try and do a stream maybe later in the week if I have time. But big up to you guys. Peace out, guys. Peace.